The scene opens in the quiet warmth of Simon Cowell's home during a peaceful evening. The camera pans across the elegant yet comfortable living room, soft lighting from a nearby lamp, framed photos of Simon with contestants and judges on the shelves, and the faint hum of a television in the background. Simon sits on a plush gray couch, dressed casually, his trademark seriousness softened by a rare, gentle smile. Beside him sits his young son, Eric, holding a tablet filled with videos of old talent show auditions. The atmosphere is calm and intimate, showing a side of Simon the public rarely sees, the loving father rather than the sharp-tongued judge. Eric scrolls through the videos, his eyes lighting up as he recognizes some famous performances. "Dad, remember this one?" he asks, pointing to a clip. Simon leans closer, his expression shifting from curiosity to fond remembrance. The video plays on the TV screen, and for a moment, the two are transported back in time. The camera captures their faces in soft focus, Simon's eyes reflecting nostalgia, Eric's filled with wonder. As they watch, Simon shares behind-the-scenes memories, telling his son how he felt in those exact moments, the nerves, the shock, the joy of discovering true talent. Eric listens attentively, smiling and laughing at his father's impressions of other judges. A light piano tune plays in the background, emphasizing the emotional warmth between them. The scene closes with Simon placing an arm around Eric's shoulder as the television screen fades to black, showing a performer mid-song. The father and son sit quietly, the glow of the TV illuminating their faces, two generations connected by music, memories, and moments that changed both of their lives forever. It's a tender, human glimpse into the man behind the legend. The scene transitions into a vivid flashback, introduced by Eric's voice narrating softly, "This was the first audition that made Dad cry." The living room fades away, and the stage of Britain's Got Talent comes alive in full color and sound. A 10-year-old boy steps into the spotlight, holding a microphone with trembling hands. The audience murmurs, unsure of what to expect. Simon sits at the judges' table, his usual calm demeanor masking quiet curiosity. The lights dim, and the boy begins to sing, a slow, emotional ballad filled with depth and soul far beyond his age. His voice echoes through the hall, raw and heartbreakingly pure. As the song builds, the camera moves between the boy's expressive face and Simon's reaction. His eyebrows rise slightly, his posture straightens, and then, for a brief moment, his eyes glisten with tears. The audience senses it too, a rare, genuine emotional response from the man known for his composure. Other judges exchange glances, touched by the performance's honesty. The song reaches its final note, lingering in the silence before the crowd erupts into thunderous applause. Eric's narration continues over the cheers, "I've never seen Dad like that before." He wasn't judging anymore, he was feeling. Simon stands slowly, offering the boy a standing ovation, his expression soft yet deeply moved. The boy, overwhelmed, begins to cry as Simon smiles warmly and gives him a simple but powerful yes. Back in the present, Eric turns to his father and says quietly, "That one changed you, didn't it?" Simon nods, his voice low but sincere, "It reminded me why I do this." The flashback fades, leaving behind an atmosphere filled with emotion, respect, and a shared understanding between father and son about the power of true talent. The scene opens with a playful shift in tone, replacing the emotional quiet of the last moment with laughter and energy. Eric's voice narrates cheerfully, "And then there was the comedian who made Dad laugh so hard, I thought he'd fall off his chair." The living room lights flicker to mimic the glow of the stage as the flashback begins. The camera transports viewers to a packed theater, bright lights, buzzing crowd, and a nervous stand-up comedian stepping up to the mic. He's dressed simply, clutching the microphone stand, his hands slightly shaking. The judges, including Simon, watch with polite curiosity. The comedian takes a deep breath, stumbles through his first line, and the crowd chuckles. Within seconds, he gains confidence, delivering one clever joke after another. The camera zooms in on Simon, who's already smiling, a rare sight. Then a punchline lands perfectly, and Simon bursts into uncontrollable laughter, covering his face and leaning back in his chair. The audience roars, and even the other judges wipe away tears of laughter. The atmosphere is electric, filled with joy and relief. Eric's narration continues, "I've seen Dad laugh before, but never like that. He couldn't stop." The flashback shows Simon clapping and giving the comedian a standing ovation, something he almost never does for humor acts. The comedian looks shocked, smiling nervously as he bows. The buzzer lights that once intimidated him now glow like spotlights of triumph. Cutting back to the present, Eric laughs while watching the old clip on his tablet. "You laughed so hard, you scared the dog," he jokes, and Simon chuckles, nodding. "He deserved it," Simon replies with a grin. The scene ends with both of them laughing together, the sound of joy echoing through the room, proof that even the toughest critic has a heart for laughter. The next scene begins with Eric speaking softly, his tone full of wonder. "And this one, Dad, this one surprised everyone." The camera slowly zooms in on the television as another clip begins to play. It's an audition that looks ordinary at first. An elderly woman walks onto the stage, wearing a simple floral dress and clutching the microphone nervously. The audience whispers, and Simon leans forward, giving his familiar skeptical glance, arms crossed. The judges exchange polite smiles, expecting a quiet, modest performance. Then the music starts. Within seconds, the woman's voice fills the hall, strong, pure, and breathtaking. Her tone carries the weight of experience and the fire of youth. The crowd gasps, the judges' expressions shift from disbelief to awe, and Simon's face softens instantly. His eyebrows lift, his arms uncross, and a faint smile replaces his doubt. The entire room becomes silent, completely mesmerized by this unexpected brilliance. The performance builds powerfully, her voice soaring through the final chorus before ending in a moment of emotional silence that feels almost sacred. When the applause finally explodes, Simon is the first to stand, clapping with genuine admiration. His expression says it all: respect, surprise, and humility. Eric's voice continues, "That's when I realized why Dad loves this job. You never really know who's about to walk through that door." Back in the living room, Eric looks up at his father with admiration. Simon nods, remembering the moment vividly. "She reminded me that talent has no age, no limits," he says softly. The two sit quietly, the glow of the TV reflecting in their eyes. It's not just another audition, it's a moment that captures what Simon has spent his life searching for: raw, unexpected, undeniable talent that touches the soul. The final scene begins with the warm morning light streaming through the same living room where Simon and Eric first sat together. The television is off now, leaving only the soft hum of life in the background, birds outside, a faint breeze, and the quiet tapping of piano keys. Eric sits at a small upright piano, his fingers moving hesitantly across the keys as he plays a gentle melody. Simon watches from the couch, his expression full of pride and emotion. There's no camera crew, no judges, no audience, just a father and son sharing something real and personal. Eric turns slightly toward his father, smiling shyly. "You think I could ever audition one day?" he asks, half joking but with a spark of genuine curiosity. Simon chuckles softly, standing up and walking over. He places a hand on Eric's shoulder, his voice calm but filled with warmth. "You already have my 4 yes," he says with a grin. Eric laughs, and the tension breaks into pure joy. The camera pans out slowly as Simon joins him on the piano bench. Together, they play a few simple notes, not perfect, but heartfelt. A gentle piano version of the Britain's Got Talent theme begins to play softly in the background, tying together the memories they've just shared. As the music swells, a montage of clips fades in, moments from the unforgettable auditions they talked about, the young boy singing, the comedian laughing, the elderly woman's powerful performance. These clips blend with new footage of Eric smiling beside his father, symbolizing how Simon's legacy of discovering talent has passed on to his son. The scene fades to black with Simon's voice saying quietly, "The greatest talent of all, is believing in someone."